Well, good morning, everybody. Guido coming at you with Coffee Talk live from the left side of the Atlantic.
And it's Pilgrim from the correct side of the Atlantic with his cup of tea and his collared shirt in honour of a special announcement
I
by
should
Guido
have I
today.
should have worn a collar shirt too, but it's not that special.
Oh,
It's
now
just
look at me, all dressed up with nowhere to go.
that's because I said there would be some changes on the channel, but they're significant but not significant, I guess, at the same time.
Right.
They're
Good job I
significant.
didn't have a tie on.
Welcome, everybody. Yes, it is true. Alabama did lose last night, and the Earth is still swinging around the sun, as far as I can tell, in the proper direction. So some people are going to celebrate that. You probably don't know what I'm talking about.
I've got
Texas,
no idea
yeah,
whatsoever, but
college
we'll go
football.
with that.
Texas A&M
Right.
beat the perennial number one, a team that has been on or very near the top for years and years.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
Alabama is like the Liverpool Football Club of
yeah, they're
England. Right.
they're the class of the class right now.
Cool. Okay.
Uh, but good game. Actually, to a large extent, Alabama beat themselves.
Right. Okay. Well, that's interesting, isn't
Yeah.
it? So they sort of let the game go, and
Well, in the first
that's not
half,
fair to the other team, though, is it? Saying that.
it isn't. And Texas A&M played a whale of a game. But you have to be honest. Alabama had 3 turnovers in the first half,
Right.
and they allowed a touchdown on a kickoff return, which is not very,
Okay.
which is really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. I sort of have a general understanding of how of what that
Yeah.
means. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then in the second half, they got down into the red zone and twice in a row came away with only a field goal, which is very un-Alabama like.
Right. Normally they've got touchdowns, do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then their defense, which had been lights out from halftime to about 8 minutes left in the game, 5 minutes left in the game, for some reason, walked off the field before the game was over because the last series for Texas A&M was like, where did that defense that we had for
Yeah.
25 minutes go? We still need it for this last 5 minutes, but they were gone. Yep, so it
Cool.
was good. I say we. I mean, I don't really care about Alabama.
Well, is that right? Because Alabama being in your neck of the woods, sort of it. The way I understand it,
Yeah,
it's
there's a lot of.
southern.
But my best
Yeah.
friend, my best friend here is a big Alabama fan.
Right. Okay. So he's now sulking in the basement somewhere, is he?
Yeah, no, he's actually pretty good about it. He's like, you know what, Texas A&M played a whale of a game. The fact is, Alabama
That's
will
good.
still be in the conversation unless
Yeah.
somehow they manage to lose again. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if there's any undefeateds left in the SEC East. I'm not
Right.
sure. I'm not sure. Or
Right.
West, whichever one they're in. I can't remember where they're in. He does have a
I,
nice
I,
lumberjack
we
shirt
need
on.
we need to go to chat because I'm getting ripped.
You are,
I'm
yeah,
getting
your
ripped
collared
apart.
shirt. Maybe we should
Need to go back a bit.
need to start wearing suits or something, huh?
Well, first of all, Wade, lumberjack shirt. This is a Charles Tyrrell handmade shirt, mate. You know what I mean? This is quality bloody
Charlie?
lumberjack shirt. That's what. Yeah,
Charlie made
Ch-
that?
Charles Tyrrell,
Oh,
not Charlie.
oh.
Charles Tyrrell.
All
There
right.
are other good bespoke tailors in Savile Row
Hmm.
as well, so it's just not advertising Charles Tyrrell.
Yeah, this is a total random tangent. Have you heard of a UFC fighter named Paddy the Baddy?
I have now because I
Hey,
watched
all
it.
right, so you did watch it?
I did, yeah.
I'd sent that to you, right?
That is so cool. Yeah,
All right, everybody, you have to look up, go to YouTube after this is
Paddy
over,
the Baddy.
and look
Yeah.
up. He's an up and coming UFC fighter from Liverpool. He's a Scouser. This is something we've talked about. You're going to see
Yeah.
the full on Scouser accent and attitude in action. Absolutely classic.
It is a classic, actually. It is. If you can
Paddy,
understand what he's saying, if
uh,
you need a translation, you need to come back to me.
Paddy the Baddy. It's absolutely fantastic.
Cool.
All right,
It
guys.
is.
So channel news, 100 battle challenge. I just finished the buggy and the Lancin. The buggy I did pretty well in, 60%. Lancin I'm sub sub 50 on a 100 battle tier 8
Well,
medium.
that's interesting. That
Yeah.
is interesting because that's quite a good tank, and you quite enjoyed it when it
Well,
was
and I did well in
deployed.
it. I just, for whatever reason, couldn't win. I think I was way too forward with it. It's just not something that can get forward. So I was able
Right.
to crank up some. I was able to crank up some damage on it, and my numbers are good. We'll take a look at it actually later on. We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame mess
Yeah.
in the game and the UI.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
liked it. I just didn't win in it.
Isn't that
And
odd? Isn't that odd? Sometimes you just come across tanks like that. That you
yeah,
sort of enjoy playing it because it has your play style.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
buggy was
it's
fun
not
though.
damaged. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
interesting because I mean I'm sort of so with the buggy. I mean I did it all right with it. I think I've got a 50% win rate in it. I think I can't remember.
yeah.
Maybe 49, something like that. But I just couldn't get on with it. I could not get. It was a hard slog to make it work. So yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool having that 240 on a medium. It's more like a heavy, really. It's called a medium, but it's a heavy.
yeah.
Hard to tell at tier 6 sometimes. Let's see. Next stream will be tomorrow, should be, and probably stack up in the afternoon, so it'll be a twofer. That's my day off. I wouldn't expect one the rest of the week. If one pops up, maybe it will. We'll see. I might stream tonight with some Waffentrager stuff. I did not get to it yesterday. I was watching football, so I didn't get to the Waffentrager thing.
Right.
Stickler says have a winning rating in the P25, bad in the Czech P10.
Isn't that
Ah,
funny?
yeah.
Yeah.
I like both of those. I played the fool out of the German one when it was one of the early premiums at tier 5. I got a bunch of fights in that thing. I had a friend who had one too, and we just played the fool out of that thing. You don't like the autoloader? Yeah, autoloaders can be tricky. 100%. 100%.
It makes you overconfident. I think autoloaders make you do a lot more aggressive play than you would normally do because you think you've got those other
Yeah.
shots sat there.
Yep.
But it's the reload that kills it.
Well, if you
Straight
mismanage
away.
it, man, if you mismanage it, I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a miserable Monday tomorrow, and there's some autoloader stuff on that. Empty clipitis, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
I'm just gonna pop out here and gun them down. Yeah, we'll see some of that on miserable Monday tomorrow. The 200th coffee talk is coming up, Pilgrim.
Is it now?
Yeah.
Now that's a milestone, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's worth wearing a Savile Row shirt, isn't it?
We should get dressed up. Today's is
I
the
think we should.
198th. So in
Yes.
2 weeks, on the 24th, everybody, will be the 200th episode. And we'll have a 200th episode celebration. So I will be giving away some things. I'm thinking like 3 tier 8s.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we're going to give away some
Okay.
tier 8s. We'll kind of keep an eye on what the sales are and if there's any specials coming up. That is getting close to Halloween, so
Yeah.
I might. Hello, Pageant Cooper. How are you? See you
Hey
redeemed.
ho,
I see you
Pageant
redeemed
Cooper.
some points. So I want to make sure we say hello to Pageant Cooper. Yes, I'm going to give away a week of CC RNG, Cliffy. That's a great idea.
A week of that.
Yeah.
A week of that. That's what we're giving away.
And then you can play as well as I do, which is probably not what you want.
No.
No, you do not want that. Based on how I played lately, no way. Yeah, so we'll keep that flexible. I'm thinking like 3 tier 8s,
Okay.
but if we're getting close to Halloween and there's boxes at Halloween involved, I will probably
Okay.
push
Look at
that to there. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. We'll see what
But
happens.
also on top of that, if you're up for it, I'm happy because Sutek's in the house. Hi, Sutek.
Hello, Sutek.
I'm happy because I'm not going to do a competition this week, and I won't do it next week. But we'll do a big competition, Pilgrim's competition, on the 200th anniversary, with the prize being either 1 or 2 paid-for coaching sessions with you. We'll look at that as a game. We'll play it as it by ear, I guess.
Yeah. So in any event,
Okay.
expect on the 24th, my friends, that we will have a big shindig and we'll be giving away a lot of stuff. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Channel changes. Not the Twitch channel, but the YouTube channel. All right, so I've been working. Wow, that was loud.
That's Reop 3A.
That was really loud.
Reop.
Riopa. How are you, man? Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. YouTube changes on, Wayne. Exactly. Absolutely. All right. So, but you may have seen some of the videos. Now it's been a couple months. They had the red thumbnails on them. They were reddish colored. They were a different thumbnail than my standard one. Those were partnering with Wargaming, and they pushed those on their platforms, and they did pretty well. So what we've done is I'm working with them again, getting a little bit of help along the way. We're changing up some of the, oh, I don't know what you would call it, some of the subject matter and things like that.
Right.
And they're going to help me. We're going to do less videos, which is going to help me a little bit with time management. I'm going to work a little bit on the quality. We'll see how that goes. And then they're going to help me push them on their various platforms. So to that end, I have built. I have now have a YouTube, not a YouTube, a Guido 1212 Facebook, a Twitter. There was an old one which I actually deleted, I think. So all this information will be down in the description on my YouTube channels once it all gets sorted out. So Twitter, Reddit, a Reddit page. I have to work on that because you have to have so much karma before you can do anything.
Right.
And whatnot. So anyway, the point of that is that I can then start pushing that stuff out, and then they can link all of that stuff on their crap, and people can find me. That's the key to all this, right?
Yeah.
Finding the person.
Absolutely.
Because I often get comments. Wow, I just found your channel. I didn't even know it existed. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
with their reach in the social media side of it, then that can bring more people in.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Is that what they do for the massive streamers, for the likes of Quickie Baby and?
No, they're self-perpetuating because they're
Oh,
already
are they? Okay.
they're already
Right.
so high up in the algorithm of YouTube and whatnot, and they're so well known.
Right.
And then word of mouth. They don't have any trouble finding new people for them.
Oh, okay. So they don't have the same deal as.
Well, and we're all fighting for the same audience. I mean,
Yeah,
ultimately,
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to go. If we get 6 months down the road and it sucks, then I'll do something else. There's been no signatures. I'm not getting paid. I'm not paying them. They're not paying me. There's the reciprocating partnership, which that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But there's no lockdown. I must do. But I am going to go with.
You still have an independence about what you're doing.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want. I can take their advice or not. If I don't, and I don't do some of the things that they want me to try out, then they're probably going to walk away, and I'll continue. I'll continue doing what I'm doing. So it's one of those things.
Cool.
Because
I think we have something fairly unique, or you do certainly, fairly unique. Is that, and I'm not saying getting bigger is bad, but currently we're sort of like a little club, aren't we? We're like a little club, and we've got all the names that we know, and then there's got new people popping in every so often, and they'll become names that we know, and so on.
Yeah.
And we can have relationships as such across the internet. When you're massive and you've got 2 million viewers, it's sort of like it becomes a business, doesn't it? It becomes.
So that's interesting you bring that up, and this was. Thank you for doing that. And this is another subject I want to talk about. And by the way, guys, I was totally not scripted. That was just a Pilgrim coming up with that, because that is a concern that I had as I was thinking about this over the last few weeks. I'm like, all right, I know we have a little thing here. Everyone likes kind of what I do. Not everyone likes, but the people who hang out like it enough to hang out. Let me put it that way. And so if I change all this all of a sudden, do I lose all those core people? Do I lose what we've been doing here? Maybe. The answer is some. You have to, right? I mean, it's not going to be the exact same thing. So do you sell out to become this everything to everybody? Is it really selling out? I don't know. Am I going to get 100? Am I going to get
moving on?
Yeah. Am I ever going to get 100,000 views? No. Let's be realistic. I mean, even Klaus and some of the big guys don't come close to that, other than on some of the really big videos, controversial or whatever videos, and that's not really what I do. So I have a realistic expectation that this is a niche game. We're in a niche market of NA for that game. I'm kind of a niche creator anyway. So, you're just limiting how many possible views you're going to have with all that stuff.
Yeah.
But most of it's a learning opportunity to kind of listen to them. So the first thing I learned, which I thought was interesting from them. Now, whether or not this is necessarily true or not, I'm going to have to take it on their authority, because they're kind of, the internet web highway guys. Is that looking at the numbers and their knowledge of how YouTube works, my channel's considered a spam channel.
Right.
because I
Okay.
put out so much content.
Right.
So we're going to cut back the number of videos, and that's why.
Isn't that weird?
It
That
is
but
weird.
it's obviously the algorithm that goes with YouTube. But yeah, weird.
So, but you have to look at it in context. So logically, I think about that and go, all right. While that may be true in the larger context of getting your videos out to millions of people and trying to optimize your channel to hit as many people as possible, that whole the average video is X length and people stick around. That's all well and good. But what I do appeals to the people that are around.
Yes.
So if I
Yeah.
change that into something
Yeah.
else, do I
Yeah.
lose them and not really gain more
Yeah.
followers
Exactly.
or
Exactly. What's
subs,
the
right?
exactly? You've got to look at what the benefits against
Yeah.
the non-benefits are.
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I really don't know the answer to that. And
I think it's manageable. I think it's possible to maintain the small gentleman ladies club type atmosphere, but increase your viewing because people will engage the same in the small grouping.
right.
The people that come to view but don't want to engage, they will just be viewers. They won't engage in the same way. That's fine, but they're coming to watch it.
Well,
So
so
you may well be able to do
the
that.
dream is to keep that intact and
Yeah, yeah,
expand the coverage or expand
sure,
the viewer
yeah,
base.
absolutely.
So that's the goal. That's my goal. It will be slightly
Okay.
different. Though I think the biggest thing I'm struggling with right now, and I don't have a good answer for. Yeah, kid. Yeah, Pilgrim has the new
Yeah,
uniform.
this is it. It's corporate. Without
It's gonna have a
corporate.
little name. It's gonna have a name tag on it, so it can harken
Yeah.
back to our military days.
No, no, no. You've got to have collar stiffeners in as well.
Yeah, yeah. His rank is senior sidekick.
That's the one.
Yeah, senior master sergeant sidekick.
Hey,
What the heck was I talking about? I don't know.
uh,
Oh,
my shirts.
helping people,
Yeah.
helping people. Helping people get good. So, right now I'm planning on release on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There will be coffee talk obviously on Sunday, so I'll release that video. And I think what I might be doing is Saturday will be one big long video released, which is
Right.
sort of defeating their don't release so many videos thing, but whatever, it's my channel.
Yeah.
They'll only see the three that, well, they'll see the whole thing if they're paying attention, but they'll really only see the three that we're partnering with. A long video with as many of the replay reviews and have it bookmarked for each person so people can go
Right.
through. So if I sit down and I do a quick video on a replay review, I'll just set it to the side. Once I've got that done, then I can render it all together in one. I'll put bookmarks for each person, and then
Yeah.
that's kind of a nebulous idea.
Well, that in my mind works, Guido, because at the end of the day, what you're known for is the tactics talks and the review of players' games. There's not a great number of CCs that actually do that. There are one or two, but actually to take somebody's game and go through it, because they want you to, and
Right.
do the thing that you do, the dissection and so on.
Yeah.
That's quite unique in a way, and I think
I
if
agree, and
you
that's why I want
maintain
to
that,
keep that around. That's why I want to keep
yeah,
that around because
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
obviously I think was a large
yeah,
draw for a lot of people who've showed up.
absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go, guys. It's not all set in stone how it's going to happen. It is going to happen, and the other thing I'm not quite clear on is because in the past when I worked with them 2 months ago, I would have one of their videos and then some of mine, and then one of theirs. I do have a schedule with them that I've sent, but it's dealing with corporate people, as you all know. They're busy. They
It's
have.
the shirt.
I'm not the only person. Yeah, they're still having that yet for the shirt. Looking, working with corporate people who are busy with other creators and stuff. I don't have their constant ear, so the communication piece. Plus, they don't speak English. I mean, they do, but that's not their first language. It's tricky. Let's put it that way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it's not very fast at times, and
no,
stuff gets chucked at you at the last minute because they just got to it, kind of stuff. So we'll see how it goes, man. They've been very upfront. It's very cool. It's cool. I had a little meeting with them. There's about 5 of them working on it, and I'm not the only person. They've got a little program where they work with up and coming. They call them bloggers over there.
all right, okay. But isn't it nice that actually you've reached a point in what you're doing here, which you do this for the love of the game and the love, for your own good reasons. But it's now reached a point where Wargaming have taken some notice of it and gone, okay, we need to look at this and maybe bring it into
Yeah.
the fold a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a nice idea.
So the big idea, at least for me, the overarching big idea is something I've talked about in the past, and I think I've been trying to do is, I think there's a market for this stuff for older gamers, and older gamers don't get catered to because Twitch is full of young people doing young people stuff, which is fine. Do you get off my lawn, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think there's a market and an increasing market as people age that want a little bit more. We're playing games, we're having a laugh, so it's not like staid mature. It's not like we're
Realism.
It's not like
Realism.
we're
They want a bit more
sitting
realism.
around in collared shirts like a couple stuffy Brits,
Hey,
it's some kind of
I'll go get changed.
chapeau that we should be driving an MG in, right?
wearing these, look, you have to wear not those baseball cap things. You're not on the baseball field. What are you wearing that for?
Oh man. Anyway, that's enough of that crap.
I did he.
Yeah, that's enough of that crap. All right,
I feel
guys.
justified in wearing the shirt now after all that. Thank you very much.
You're part of the new brand, my friend. Part of a new brand.
There you go, corporate image.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's a thing. I think that's a market. And
Yeah.
and the trick is to leverage it. Trick is to leverage. We'll see how it goes. Cool.
Well,
That was the
interesting
longest. That was the longest intro of all time in channel news.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we're done with that now.
I think so, aren't we? Just
Is that over?
God, I hope it is.
Is it time?
It is
All
time.
right, let's
Can we do that?
Yeah. All right, Wargaming, you crazy people. What are you doing to us today in terms of selling things? Let us find out, my friends. What do we have? Oh, did that just work? What?
Did it?
I have no idea
Wow.
why that just plain old worked. That was very odd. Anyway, cool.
Well,
Cool. What do we have? We have for sale tanks.
yes.
This is under featured.
Is this how we're shilling now? We've got
Yeah,
some
we're
tanks
shilling.
to sale.
Yeah, we're selling some tanks now, baby. It's time to shill.
Okay.
Time to sell tanks. All right, what do we got here? We got TS5. These are the featured is a mess because often you don't see the same thing I'm seeing, guys. But the TS5 is for sale. I think everyone should see that because it's special offer. Actually, not much there at all. So TS5, there you go.
No, that's it. I was thinking that. Do you want to just skip everything else and go to specials and then come back to gold?
Yeah,
'Cause
why?
I want
What's
to
in
check you've got the
specials?
same specials as me.
Okay, well, just skip there. What the?
Yeah. What you got on the specials?
Apparently, I have a day of premium.
That's it. That's all there is in specials.
That was not like that 30 minutes ago.
No, I've just clicked on it and gone, what? What? That's it?
Huh.
Anyway,
Must be swap over time. That might change in the near future, or something happened. I don't know. That's very strange. All right, gold. Pretty standard stuff. Any amount. The war chest, $99.
there you go.
Premium count. We've got this.
We know there's a 4 prices to that, so we've been through that.
This was the same one as last week with the 30 days and that little tier 3 thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and on vehicles, we got the Sturva's up. That's actually a fun tank. I quite enjoy that one. For a casemate TD, it's just that mechanic of having the camo net working while you spin around, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Kicker says, nothing makes me happier than ramming a 430U with an E50M. That's pretty good.
That's got to be really, really satisfying, isn't it?
And you got to make sure you have the controlled impact on it so you really ram them, right?
Yeah.
So you give them the old what for.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
A turbocharger, so you're actually moving.
Can the E50M actually drive up and over it?
Oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Is there an angle at which you could drive up and over it?
Got to be.
1,459?
Wow.
Damage?
Wow.
That's a lot. Nicely done.
Brilliant.
Crushing the
Nicely
hover
done.
mediums. Crushing the hover mediums. All right, so IS-6, we've got the Canonin, the two Canonins. The Cannon de-assault and the Canonin.
Yeah.
These are all the same things as last week, my friends. The shill is going to not take much time.
It's all the same, yeah.
Today is the last day. You have 17 hours, so if you're going to do the engineer thing, if you're spending money on that, today's your last day to do that. You can drive over the S1. Lots of tanks can go over the S1, especially when he's in the mode.
Yeah.
When he's in the mode. So yeah, there was not much going on there, my friends.
Cliffy says he's got 5 options on the specials, so.
Well, let's go back and see if it's changed for us.
Well, still got the premium day.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
Because I'm not logged in like a Muppet.
And neither am I.
Bloody heck.
Okay, there you go.
I was logged in minutes ago. Now I'm not. Hold on. Hold the phone.
Yeah, 7p's. 7p's. Failed you miserably, sir. I do apologise.
Well, that's fantastic too, because I got to do the password and everything. Jeez, man, come on.
Bad, isn't it? It's bad when it's like that. But that's how we roll, and that's what we want on this channel.
Hold on. I got to do that authentication. Hoo-ha. Total breakdown, Pilgrim. Total breakdown.
I know.
Despite your more professional shirt, we were unable to avoid a complete breakdown.
Yeah.
All right.
To be fair, now I've booked in, it's not much better anyway.
Didn't really matter.
Nope.
Confirmation the stream is centering on the older Tim. That's right. We have to be true to our roots, Sutek.
Absolutely.
We have to be true. All right, specials. Woo. All right, now we got to go down here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, specials. What do we have? Oh, look, there's all the stuff I saw minutes ago, and then for some reason I got logged out. Randomly. There's not a whole bunch more, though, is there?
No, not really.
No. I don't think there's any. All right, that's enough shilling for that.
I think so. I'm out of there.
Let's go back to looking at what we have in terms of events. We do have by the way, to my Canadian friends, happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Nicely done.
Why is it so early why is it so early in Canada?
I don't know. What? The week before? What are we talking about?
It's Thanksgiving. It's Canadian Thanksgiving. Ours isn't until the end of November. Why is there so early? Does it get cold earlier up there? Maybe that's it.
Possibly. We need a Canadian to confirm with us.
I also need to know why they have a Thanksgiving. I know why we have a Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Different Indians.
Yeah.
That might be it, Wayne. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's the legend of it in the U.S. It was the Pilgrims and the Indians got together with the harvest, the fall harvest, and they had a meal together. And it would, who knows if it's true, but that's the idea of it. And then it's kind of morphed into this family and fall celebration kind of holiday. So we all families get together and you have a big meal, and turkey and all that stuff. So what happened? What's going on in Canada?
There you go. Randall's
the reason it occurs earlier, yes, is Canada's north, and because of this, the harvest. That's what I said. I'm a genius because the harvest is earlier. Canadian.
Makes sense.
Well, there you go.
Definitely said the same.
There you go.
There you are.
But it's the same.
You rely on the guys to come up with the information, can't you?
It's the same basic holiday, though. The concept of it is the old thing, but that's ancient. The fall harvest celebration.
It is ancient.
It is
goes
ancient.
Back.
There's nearly every.
Yeah.
At least in the temperate zones, nearly every civilization
Every
has
culture,
something
every
like it.
civilization,
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we can go. You can go back to Stone Age when, the old Ugg and his Mrs. Ugg,
yeah.
used to harvest in whatever they were harvesting and put it in the back of the cave for the winter, wasn't it? So yeah, not sure if her
Mithraism,
name was Ugg, but it's close.
Mithraism. Thanks. I'm pretty sure it was Ugg. It could have been Ugg Junior.
Possibly,
Mithraism, thanks for the follow.
yeah.
Welcome to the show. Well, it's worth celebrating having food. When you're eating rocks and dirt and trying
Oh,
to avoid a saber-toothed cat,
that's the one.
and you're using a pointy stick to try to kill a mastodon to eat something.
Yeah, if you've managed to grow some crops,
Yeah, I mean, the
you know what I
crops the crops didn't try to kill you,
no, exactly.
although they might have if you ate the poison bits first.
Yeah, it depends which
Depends on
crop
which
you're
crop
growing.
you transfer.
Here's a point. I wonder if they grew marijuana back then as well.
Oh, there is no doubt that if they found something with psychedelic properties, they used it. There's no doubt.
No, there'd be a shaman who was in charge of all that, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
The sort of bearded, grimy-looking character at the back of the cave who does dodgy stuff with stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, oh, yeah, absolutely. The shaman, right? The shaman, he knew where all the shrooms were.
He
And
knew
I-
exactly that.
I think there's multiple crops and stuff that they would chew on, stuff that did basically that we use.
Yeah, I mean, even today you've got coca leaves and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So,
Make a paste of it, or chew it, or put it in a drink, or whatever they did with it.
Wasn't illegal back then, was it?
I don't know if we talked about this, but I saw another video that was absolutely fascinating about beer and alcohol.
No, we didn't talk about that.
And the guy, I think we did weeks ago, but we're going to talk about it
Probably.
anyway because it's a random tangent on right now.
It is.
So the guy was talking about it, and back in the medieval period, they made beer because it was safer than regular water.
Oh, we did talk about that. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And he said most people wandered around in a slight stupor, not hammered, because it was
Oh.
very weak beer. Actually, it took a lot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like drinking Bud Light these days, or a White Claw. If you have any kind of tolerance, it takes a whole bunch. Now maybe their tolerance is different too. Physiology could slightly change. So
Yeah.
maybe they were
Yeah.
hammered, but anyway, they would have it for lunch and whatnot, and it was safer than water. I thought that was fascinating, actually.
Well, it comes to something when you have to have a beer because the water is such poor quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
but
that's
if
right.
I mean,
Go ahead. No, you're good.
if you like bounce that back to the Stone Age, then you can understand why the Neanderthal line almost died out. There's still a few Neanderthals knocking around. I mean, I've got a couple of my neighbours are Neanderthals. But anyway, but you can understand because they were probably more pissed than the Homo sapiens. So they just got absolutely wasted, fell off cliffs and all.
Oh,
sorts
so
of
you're
stuff,
saying
you know
just
what I mean?
because they're Neanderthals, they were
Oh,
drunks?
absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
my
Yeah, the
gosh.
drunkenness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brain damage from all the alcohol, see? Like my neighbours.
You need to stop casting dispersions on people,
I'm doing
sir.
it again, aren't I? Yeah. I'm doing the
Quit
dispersion
casting
thing again.
dispersions.
On the Neanderthals. Cancel Pilgrim. There you go.
You can blame Canadian Thanksgiving for that whole
That whole thing.
discussion
Yes.
right there. In any event, it goes till tomorrow, and by goes till tomorrow, it means it is active tomorrow, as opposed to ending, in the early AM.
Right.
So there are some missions out there, guys. You can get some flags and stuff, and if you're not Canadian or don't want a Canadian flag, this is, I believe, one of the sellable.
Sellable
emblems.
ones, yeah. I think most of the national flags are sellable.
Yep. And there's some Thanksgiving camos and little goodies you can get, so that's pretty cool. So, happy Thanksgiving, my Canadian brothers up north. Thanks for being America's.
And my Canadian subjects across the pond.
Thanks for being America's hat.
Oh, yeah. Keeping your head warm.
All right. Extended XP. I think that's it for missions and stuff. I think that's it. Let's take a look in the UI and see if there's anything to be found. What do we got here? What do we got? We go over to missions. Is anything in events yet? Nope. All right. Sometimes they sneak stuff in there.
You've got Commander AF stuff in there as well, haven't you? So.
Right. Commander AF's code is Maple Roasted. Maple Roasted. That sounds delicious. What is Maple Roasted? What would you roast? What would you maple roast?
I don't know. I mean, we're talking maple syrup or the leaf,
I don't
or
know. I just
hey,
sort of took the code and put it in, but I didn't really think about the code till right now. Maple
roast pork.
roasted bacon.
You would put pork wrapped in maple leaves and put it in the
Maple
oven.
roasted peanuts?
Peanuts.
That sounds
No,
delicious. Bastal roasted peanuts. Maple roasted peanuts sounds delicious.
does, doesn't
I
it?
could go for some of those.
They do a version of that. They do honey roasted peanuts, don't they?
They
So
do,
they
yeah.
roast,
That's why I
nice.
know they're
They're nice.
delicious. Yeah, that's why I know they're
Yeah.
delicious. Oh, you can do the bacon where you drizzle the maple syrup on it and then toss it in the oven.
Now you see, you're making me hungry. Now we need to stop this food talk.
Today on Food Talk.
Today on number one food talk.
Today on Food Talk. All right, let's see. Harriers missions. Yeah, we still got this going on. That ends tonight, my friend. So make sure you use all of. I don't know if the event will stay up, so you can use your various starters, but I would recommend you fire them off
Yeah.
because I have no idea if it's going to be up after that. The engineers missions I finished. I really haven't been doing much with the Harriers thing. I should probably do that.
Quite a struggle to get in as a Harry, though.
It is right now.
It's a long
crazy.
wait,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It swaps. It goes from waiting as a Harrier to
Yeah.
or waiting as a Harrier because there's no engineers, and then it's
Yeah.
waiting as a. Wait a minute. What am I saying here?
It's waiting as a Harrier. As an engineer, you get in straight away. I used all my keys up straight away. I had about 5 keys.
So basically, you're always waiting as a Harrier.
Yeah, yeah. The Harrier is the big weight, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like you're always waiting as a Harrier.
Yes, that's part of being a Harrier.
That's what I'm saying, though. You're waiting at the beginning because there's no engineers,
Yeah.
and then you're waiting at the end
And then
because
you
there's
wait
no
'cause
Harriers.
there's too many Harriers.
No, there's no Harriers.
There's no Harriers.
There's too many engineers.
Well, they are then. That's like roasted honey peanuts, isn't it? Let's continue.
That is proof number 2 that we are aiming at an older generation.
We are the senile channel.
Wait a minute. You're always waiting as a Harrier. That's complete BS.
Yeah. Right.
I'm glad we figured that out. High voltage. I think that's Harrier stuff. I don't know. Commander AF's mission will get you some extra combat rations. It always cracks me up. The Soviets don't get anything tasty.
No,
There's no
just get
borscht.
extra dried biscuits.
No borscht, no vodka. They actually get enough food to live on.
Yeah.
Yeah, starvation otherwise for their rations, but here's some extra
yeah.
food, my friend. Canadian Thanksgiving. This is what we looked at. You're getting some tidbits there. Watt Salute Standard. The Mouse is on track. Summertime is the Prime Gaming thing. That's still ongoing if you have Prime Gaming. Watt Salute is the veteran deal, and then on track the WZ-131, and that is pretty much it. Are we done shilling? What else we got?
Well, yeah, just on the Chinese line there about the on track, I find it useful on tracks purely because of the discount for the cost of the tanks, nothing else.
Yeah.
But, for the discount, because I've just bought the Tier 9 light tank for, I think it was.
Well, if you're grinding the line, it's a good deal because there's extra
oh yeah, it is.
XP and
yeah,
stuff
no,
along
absolutely.
the way.
Yeah. So yeah, it is, and it's quite it. I like this on track thing because a lot of people tend to just ignore it, but it works. It works well.
Yeah.
Because I'm now sitting with the WZ-132 Alpha, and it costs me, I think, 2 million silver or something.
It's kind of insane how fast you can grind stuff now.
Yes, yeah. It is, isn't it? You got ×4 this weekend as well, haven't you? So
yeah. High voltage is the Prime Gaming missions. Okay, C-Tech, thanks, man. I didn't realize that. That's right, because that's.
Oh, it is, yes, because I've got summertime and down as a mission, and I don't have Prime Gaming. So yeah.
But Prime Gaming was kind of connected to the Waffenschreiber event based on the concept or the theme of it.
Yeah.
Drops
yeah,
to 10
Cliffy's right. 4.5, 4.7 million for a tier 10. It's cool, isn't it? I like the whole idea. I mean, if I had to buy it at full price, I would. But you know what I mean? It's nice to get the discount, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to buy back all the tier 10 already that I rage sold just so I can say I have everything again.
Really?
But yeah,
Is that
yeah,
is
I'm
that
gonna.
a real consideration?
Yeah, I want to have everything in the garage. I feel incomplete.
Can you not can you not firewall that artillery? Can you not have it like compartmentalized off to one side? Yeah, I've got all the titters, but they're in that little box, and I'm not
But then
allowed
I
to
have
go
to
in.
always explain that, right? If
Well, you
I
do.
if I brag, if I do a little self congratulation and say I have all the tier tens, except for the artillery because I rage sold a couple of them, but I only have one.
Yeah,
That's boring. You know.
yeah, yeah,
So no, I can't. I have to have them all.
yeah. You can't say I've got all the tanks in the game and not have them. You can say
That's
I've
a
got.
fact. That's a fact. Because
Yeah,
then you're lying, aren't you? Because then you're full of crap.
I know.
I mean, I guess you could.
Well, I don't
You
know.
could say
Yeah,
it.
yeah, but Sutex is saying that the 132 Alpha is a little bit of a non-tank. Is it really? I mean, I've just made it the best scout in the game. I've got like no over 1,000 concealment and nearly 1,000 spotting on
Really?
it. Yeah,
Wow.
it took a lot. I had to do messing about with swapping and changing stuff.
A
Like I got the
thousand.
CVS. Yeah, I got the CVS. Well, it's 935, so it's nearly 1,000. So I've put a CVS on. I've got a um,
Your spotting is
Binox on it.
935.
Yeah,
Do you have binoculars on it?
yeah, Binox.
All right, that's when
I
your
mean,
binocs are going.
yes. Oh, well, obviously, yeah.
Okay.
Let me drop it down and we'll see. Right. Okay.
935? That's nuts. That's a lot of burn
Is,
through.
isn't it just? And it's got CVS on as well. So I've,
Oh,
so I'm
rating.
hoping it's actually a good tank.
Is that your rating? That's not that's not your spotting meters. That's your
Right. Well,
spotting rating, right?
spotting a set of parameters that show the effectiveness of spotting enemy vehicles.
Yeah, if you need to look at your view
Oh,
range.
do the drop down. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's probably
your
5
view
or
range is
6.
540. Right, view range is 541.
There you go. That's
All right,
that sounds more
all right,
reasonable.
right. But I like the 939 figure, 935 figure. I like
Yeah.
looking at that. Never
Yeah,
mind the
because
541.
it's bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everyone likes it bigger.
I'm not saying.
That
I don't know. I have no idea where that
I don't know
lives.
either. I like that tank. That's like a little combat tank.
Yeah, I quite enjoy the Chinese light line.
Yeah.
I've had fun with the WC 131, 132. I mean, even the premiums, the 64 and the 62 are quite usable, quite nice.
I mean, the EBR is always going to
Yeah.
be painful for the tracked light tanks. It's just the way it is. The good news with the Chinese ones is they're decently armored, so the lull pen
Yeah,
HE spam is slightly less problematic.
yeah,
The guns are not good. They're
yeah.
good. Their alpha's good, but they're not as accurate as you might like, and the depression sucks.
Right.
So it's more of a combat oriented light tank, but it can swing to the light tank thing if needed. The problem is
Yeah, I enjoy it. Maybe it fits the way I play them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Problem is most mediums do a little bit better job than it.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, 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 yeah.
But the one thing that people leave out when they say stuff like that, mediums do as good job, is that mediums don't carry their camo while
Ammo.
moving.
Yeah, yeah.
While moving.
I mean, currently my concealment is 45.36 stationary and moving. So that's not bad, is it?
Right. It carries the same
Moving or
concealment
stationary,
moving,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
important. That's actually important. All right, cool.
Anyway, there we go.
How do we get to that? Oh, we were
Well,
talking about on
we were
track.
doing doing the the on track stuff.
Let us move on to subjects du jour, my more mature, considered collared friend.
Okay,
Are you ready?
but I was born ready,
Born
sir.
ready. Oh. Were you really though?
Not really.
No, no, you were just a pink little baby that could get stepped on
Yeah,
by
it was.
nearly
Yeah,
anything.
I wasn't born with a bullpup weapon and a large pack on my back and my combat boots. No.
That didn't happen until I was 3.
Yeah, exactly. I was 3 when my father put it all on me and said, "Go and fight the war, son." Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh man, pressed into the Royal Army at 3 years old.
Exactly that. Well, we start young because
Yeah.
were hobbits.
Handed to bullpup because they're relatively short.
That's it. Yeah, the 3-year-old could actually hold it.
Yeah.
Go off and fight for Queen and Country. Son.
Wait a minute. Now the LHM TV is making a lot more sense.
Exactly. There you go.
There were tiny British babies inside those tanks in the Manicore.
Driving around with pacifiers in.
So British light tanks are driven by 3-year-old British recruits. That's why they're so small.
Pacifiers in God, bullpup on back.
Branistel, what's going on, man? Rating with a party of 14.
Right.
Welcome. How was your stream? Man, you're ending your stream. Was this a stream from last night?
Wow.
Or did you just have an early morning stream? Goodness gracious, that's awesome. Oh, thanks for the follow, Sar Game. How are you? We were just talking about, I don't know why, but Pilgrim over here joined the British Royal Army at 3 years old. Oh, he's in Germany. Okay, there you go. So it is not early where you are. It is later in the afternoon. Cool. How is Germany, man? Where were you in Germany? I was stationed in Germany once in Würzburg. And I lived in
that's the problem. You guys were stationed in the holiday zone. We were stationed in the working zone, should we call it?
Oh, I was as forward as an Air Force guy gets.
No, I mean in north-south.
Oh, yeah.
In Germany, if you go anywhere south of Dortmund, it's holiday. It's Bavaria and lakes and skiing.
It was beautiful, dude. It was exactly. Like
we were in the drab north. We were in Hamburg and Dortmund and Cologne and all that sort of stuff.
Silly rabbit tricks are for kids. How are you? Yeah, we had grape vineyards, and it was a great part of the country.
Yeah, you had the Moselle Valley and all that.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You could get down to what's the dang? See again the old guy thing. The town where the beer fest is.
Munich.
You get to Munich pretty quickly from Würzburg. Lived in a little town called Leinach.
There you go. See, I've told you this story before, and perhaps Branistal will back me up on this. I learnt my German in northern Germany, in the north of Germany. When I went to Bavaria to go to the Armed Forces Recreation Centre, which you guys had set up everywhere, which is brilliant because we could go on holiday and live in log cabins and pretend we were Americans.
In what's it called in
AFRC at Chiemsee.
Chiemsee, yeah.
Like,
but there's also the ski place at Go ahead, it'll come to me. I can't think of it.
Right. Well, of course, I went down with my northern German, and I went to the local shop to get some Käsebrötchen, cheese bread, and I said, "Can I have?" Basically, I said, "Can I have 5 or 6 of those cheese rolls, please?"
Garmisch, that's it. Garmisch, thank you, silly rabbit. Garmisch.
Garmisch, yeah, I remember Garmisch, yeah.
Yep.
And the woman behind the counter just looked at me like I was speaking Swahili. So it's like, was? I went, 4-mal Käsebrötchen, bitte. She, was? And then she went, English? I went, yeah, English. She went, speak bloody English then. I went, I can have 4 of them cheese rolls, please. Couldn't understand my German. I don't know what that's about, for crying out loud.
So in Würzburg, one of the kind of standard greetings, probably more for the older folks, is Grüß Gott.
Grüß Gott, yeah. Good God.
Yeah. And that's like a greeting.
Yeah.
If you do that in, dialects differ, absolutely. If you do that in northern Germany, you sometimes get the side eye.
Yeah.
Because that's like a country bumpkin.
Yeah.
In Germany, right? The southern.
Brilliant.
It's a lot like if you have a thick southern accent in the U.S. and you go up into the Northeast, they kind of look at you like, oh, who's this hick? Who's this guy from the sticks? It's not always that way, but it is interesting how those the little nuances of it all. Because I didn't know. I mean, I thought Grüß Gott was just every German used Grüß Gott, but they don't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would. I get it because obviously we've got north and south here, so all those that live up in Newcastle when they speak, nobody understands them. And if you go further than that, you've got all the heathens over the border in Scotland, and nobody can understand that one. So I get it. You know what I mean?
In Spain, they view the Mexican Spanish as guttural. Yeah. Yep.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yep.
I think he didn't understand what I said.
So zero.
Brilliant.
So zero basically. It's off the chart to it's gone. All right.
Fantastic.
All right. So subject du jour. Let's talk some tanks. I
Cool.
think that's why we're here.
I
So
think-
you say the Yo is the holiday op exclusive.
Yeah, I got it off Wargaming site as opposed to one of the the bolt-ons like the Daily Bounce and stuff like that.
All right.
But on the
Hold
Daily
on.
Bounce, it's on there as well. So they're talking about it being the holiday op.
Thanks for the follow. Something I will never be able to pronounce. Is that Korean? I don't know. Not really sure. But welcome. Thanks for the follow. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. What's that?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Yoho is apparently is a holiday op exclusive. Apparently. Now,
Okay.
where that's going to fit in the whole scheme of things, because currently it's with Common Test at the moment, I think. So is it going to fit into Christmas? Is it going to fit into Halloween? I don't know.
Yeah.
We've had the preload, haven't we, for 1.141? So
Loot
if the
box is
preload-
what Wayne's saying. I think I agree with that. And I forgot to say thank you to Nats0011 for the follow 4 minutes ago. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I think that's reasonable, right? Because it's a new line.
Yeah.
But we talked about this last week. We do have Halloween to get through. So is there going to be something there? Right?
Well, you want to say yes, don't you? You want to say the Yo line will come in, or do you want to say is one?
Well,
of
I
the
have
other-
no doubt it's Christmas. That's not a surprise,
Okay.
especially if you've got some kind of official,
Okay.
semi-official, official leak, whatever I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah, one of those official leaks.
But I'm just tossing that out, and what we're talking about is the Terrier Premium, the M-4-Y Yo tank.
Yeah. And that would make sense. Or see, the other thing you've got to look at is a premium. Is it going to be a marathon tank? No, it'll be a loot box tank. That's what they're saying. They're saying it's going to be
Yeah.
a holiday op exclusive.
No, yeah, I believe that. It's going to be one. Yeah, it'll be a
Yeah.
Christmas box. But
Right,
but I'm
okay.
just chucking out, a little fuel into the fire. So what's going to go on Halloween? Will we have boxes or no? We had them last time,
No,
and there was a tank
No.
I thought in them. You don't think we're going to have boxes at Halloween?
I'm not sure. I think they had such a debacle. In fact, like Wayne said, they might have loot boxes just full of decals.
Load up the decals.
Yeah, load of decals you can't sell. Decals you can't sell.
And
Coupons.
re-roll coupons. Yeah, anything from 1% to 5%.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it'd be interesting because you see, they've not only got that, but they've got other tanks which they're currently running through. For example, the Object 590, Tier 9 Premium,
Well, that's
medium tank.
yeah. Let's just roll into that. There's a WZ-113-2, which I've not seen
Yeah.
these stats on. There's a VK-2801 MIT 10.5.
Yeah.
That's the DERP 2801 that was taken out of the game.
Yeah,
That's a tier 6, I think. I think that's a I don't know. It might be a Christmas gift, but it's also
Okay.
the World of Tanks anniversary coming up, I believe, as well, right?
yeah.
So there's the Object 590, which is a reverse auto loader. That's Russian. There's a British Cobra, and there's a couple others that are look like tier 9s or are listed as tier 9s. So there's a bunch actually.
Yeah.
Awesome
Because-
Epic guys
because
were
what
playing
was-
the Japan TD. Are you kidding me?
All right. Okay. Excuse me.
Oh, really? Well, that was quite the coup for them. That's a very exclusive then, because I've not heard a single thing about that. And I'll tell
No.
you, I have my fingers on the pulse of the CC world, my friends.
Of course you do. Of course you do. You're in there now. You'll be
No,
very
I'm
well
always the
next
last idiot to know. I'm always the last idiot to know.
week.
Really?
You need an official leaker. You need an official leaker, don't you? You need somebody who will leak to you.
No, I don't want to get into that crap.
No.
Are you sure they weren't playing on the super test/test? They
Oh, if
might.
it was on one of the tests, yeah, it could have been on the test sites, couldn't it? On the the test client.
I think you're right, Sutek, and that anniversary thing is coming up, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Space Coffee Talk goes too. Well, there's only two of us here, unless it's going to go to.
Well, it'll never be me, will it?
It could go to the Lorraine that's circling around above us.
Yeah.
So anyway, there are lots of tanks. So the choices are legion. There's a bunch of known tanks in the files. So it could be
Yeah.
just about anything. The Yo tank has been advertised, so I think that's a pretty solid guess, as you said, for the Christmas ops, and then the release of the line sometime next year. 1.14.1 does have the track mechanic in it, listed as
Yeah.
one of the things in the patch notes.
Yeah.
So they've put the mechanic in the game,
Yeah.
or at least the first part of it, or the base of it, or
Yeah.
whatever, the base code, or whatever they've done. But it says that's advertised. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next question becomes, is there some kind of Halloween tank? Because there was last year, I believe there was one that was
See,
new.
my in my waters, as we like
In
to
your
say,
waters.
in my waters, I'm feeling they've tentatively dipped into the waters with the tier 9 premium. And I think dipped into my waters.
I'm going to go on record. I'm going on record right here. I could do without that whole saying. I'm just throwing it out there, man. I don't,
Does it not equate to you saying I feel it in my bones? Is that not the same thing?
yeah, but
I mean, my bladder and my bones, they're
waters sounds slightly creepy.
Oh, does it?
It
Okay.
does, yeah, to me anyway.
Well, it's a barometer of weather, your bones and your bladder. You know what I mean? So if you feel
Yeah.
it in your waters, you know. Okay, we'll go with bones just to save your
Okay.
blushes.
All right, I like
We'll
that.
go with bones.
Yeah.
I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my joints. I feel
Yeah.
it in my joints.
Me
'Cause
joints.
we are. Yeah. I feel it in my bones that they've dipped into the bones, not the water, but the bones with a tier 9 premium, and I think that's where they're going to head off. I think that'll be future reward prize, whatever marathon tanks will start to creep in will be tier 9 premiums.
Well, that's the question. Like, when will
Yeah.
the next tier 9
Yeah.
premium show up? Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
There you go. I've
What
corrupted
does
everybody
chat
on
What does chat
all of our viewers.
What does chat think? When will Wargaming drop the next tier 9 premium? Or will they,
Interesting.
or will they? I think they will, but I don't know. Don't know.
I want to say they will. I want to say it's going to be Halloween. I want to say they're going to make a big deal out of it, but I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
they tried. Yeah.
Okay, Twitch got hacked. I don't know if you guys knew that, but they did. Which means that Twitch has gone through and reset a bunch of stuff. You may need to go into your Wargaming account on the website, on your account management page, and delink and relink your Twitch account to get the drops. So if your drops aren't working, go into your account page, go to, I'm not going to show you because I don't want to, account management. So up in the top right where your name is, do that drop down, go down to the bottom to account management. Like I said, I'm not going to show it because it's got all my details on it right here. But over on the top right side, there is linked social networks. Delink, just hover your mouse over it, unlink, I guess is the word it uses, and then relink your Twitch if you're having issues. Which brings me to weekly watcher drops. So there's a little, there we go, community contributor weekly watcher. So the official page has a thing going on with weekly watcher drops, but also 13 Disciple, Damien's Gaming, and Talk to Me Goose. And it's on this article here, community contributor weekly watcher drops. You have to watch X amount of minutes, and you can do weekly stuff and blah, blah, blah. All the details are right there. But these are the three guys, and their schedule is there. So if you're interested in what their schedule is, all three of these guys are good streamers. Damien's he's pretty funny. He does a lot of stuff lately. It's not all tanks. Talk to Me Goose tends to be tanks. 13 Disciple, I think, is pretty much all tanks. 13 Disciples, a little more serious kind of player. He's very extremely good player as well.
He'll do all the maths or
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
math
So yeah,
if you want it.
yep,
You know what I mean? He'll do all that behind
yep.
that.
I mean, Damien and Talk to Me are definitely good players, but 13's I think at a slightly different level than those two and me. But here's how it's all built and what you can get, and it's styles and kits. I mean, quite a few kits actually. So lots of little goodies. So if you like watching those guys, make sure that you're watching them at the appropriate time. There, you've got your Twitch account linked correctly, and then you will pick up the goodies for the weekly Watcher drops. 1.14.1. Let's get into this one.
Oh yeah.
It has a few interesting things on it that I haven't dug into it till earlier today. So we'll bring this little guy up here and kind of take a look at it. Chinese ranked reward TD. I missed that. What did he say? All right. Chinese vehicle rebalance. So the first thing it's going to be is a buff, basically, for Chinese vehicles to include the Type 51 and 59G. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And
Did it need it? Did it need it?
I don't know. It's a little faster. Does a little bit more damage because it reloads slightly faster. And the dispersion was improved by a considerable amount. 0.39 to 0.35, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So very interesting. Let's just start at the bottom here. We'll go with the Tier 5 Type T34. Now, this is kind of smaller buffs because during hull traverse, okay, whatever. Dispersion during turret traverse. Now, the aiming time down considerably.
Yeah.
2 second, really? This thing had a 5-second aim time? No, point.
Point.
Wait a minute, it was a 0.5 aim time to begin with? Are you kidding me? I do remember it being pretty quick to aim.
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow, 36 Revan 36. Welcome to the show. I'm not sure about that. That's odd. That's pretty fast, but there you go. Reload time for the Type 58 has increased, which is going to give it some more DPM up to an even 2,000. The dispersion improved. That's always nice. Aiming time down quite a bit, 0.3 seconds, so that's good. So a 2-second aim. We go to the Tier 7, 34-1, and I think some of these got a buff already once in the recent past.
Yes, I think they did. I think they did.
In the recent past. Now this one is just during movement, and then the aiming time got a slight buff right there. 34-2. This is with the 122 gun, not I think it has a 100 it can put on it too. So that's a little bit of a surprise, actually, if you haven't revisited the tier or the Chinese mediums for a long time or haven't done it. The 34-2 carries a 122 now, and they actually buffed it a little bit over what they put on it. So 212 pen, which is decent.
Yeah.
The heat's all the way up to 280. Holy macaroni.
But heat is very selective. It's when it hits and it hits the right spot, you get that pen. But normally, like all high explosive type ammunition, the normal sort of thing is rubbish. In my opinion, rubbish.
Dispersion barely buffed from 4.4 to 4.3. That's terrible either way. These 120s are always derpy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's the 120 model. I think that's the 100, but could be wrong. Top speed got increased by 6, so it gets around the field a bit better. Now we got the 110, which is actually a heavy. They've chucked that in there too for some reason. It got a buff also. And this is during movement stuff. And then the 100 millimeter got some aiming time and dispersion help on the 110. I don't know if it carries a 122. I don't remember. I think it does, but I'm not sure. The WZ-120 has quite a few things going on. Aiming time, that's a significant increase or decrease. Increase in capability, decrease in aiming time. Turret traverse, movement, and then that's the 122, and then the 100 also got an aiming time and a dispersion buff down to 0.36. That's the WZ-120. None of that's really amazing. The 121 is the Tier 10, and it's got an aiming time buff, and its dispersion went down during turret traverse by 0.1. I guess that's good. I don't know. All right, so that's the Chinese stuff. Field mods. This is cool.
Yeah,
They're getting a couple things, a couple quality of life improvements. Now, I like that because that's iterative improvements as we're moving along, and that's how they
absolutely.
should do
Yeah.
these things. So you will be able to switch off the selection of alternate configuration appearing before battle starts. If it's not something you want, you turn it off, and then you won't have mistakes like I make sometimes where you do the all HE loadout.
Yeah. I feel your pain.
I mean, if you every time you do this, if you set up the alternate configuration to be the same as the original, you don't it doesn't cost you anything, and you won't get any of the pop-ups or anything. So there is a workaround, but you can just simply turn it off now.
Good.
Uh, yeah, okay, so you can set that. Then there's changing the ammo type on the battle loading. Now I don't quite understand this. Does anyone in chat understand this? Does this mean I can change the numbers of each type dynamically in the loading screen?
Oh, well, that'd be interesting. That'd be
Changing the
interesting.
ammo type. That's all I get from that because right now you can change the two loadouts you've picked.
Yes.
So I
Does it mean that your primary ammo can be swapped over? So if normally you come in primary, it'll be the normal ammo, then you have your premium ammunition, then you have your HE, don't you? Is it possible to switch it over so your initial load up will be with whatever ammunition you wanted,
no, you
which
already
you can do
have
back in
that.
the
You already
garage?
have that. You
Yeah,
have
you
two
have that back in the
loadouts.
garage.
This
Yeah.
sounds more dynamic, as in I can change a slider and specifically change the number of each shell.
Really?
That's what
Oh,
it's
well, that's
that's what it
interesting.
seems like. I mean, you can already pick
What?
one loadout or the other, and this reads changing the ammo type on the battle loading script type.
Not quantity, but type.
Well, I read into that quantity, but I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure. That's why I asked the question. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Cliffy says he didn't play this test, so he's not sure either. So I don't know. You'll be able to quickly swap between dual mods. This irritated the crap out of me the way it was mech'd. You had to. I can't remember how it works, but you had to get rid of one before you can do the other. Now you just pick the other one, and it will reset the one you don't want. I guess.
Okay.
One had to be canceled before the other one could be purchased. Now you just purchase the other one, and it cancels automatically the one you had.
Right. Okay. Well, that's useful.
That's great. That's less clicking, right? And I like this right here,
Yeah.
actually. They should
Yes.
apply this
Things
to a
get
lot
bored.
more things.
Yeah.
This means less time spent clicking and more time fighting. Take that
Yes.
sentence, my friends, my UI wargaming friends, and start applying that to a bunch more stuff. All
Yeah.
right.
Because how many times do we have to click 7 times to get one thing
Yeah.
done?
So
All the time.
here's a big one for me. Tactical roles of tier 6 to 10 vehicles specified in field modification will now be reflected in the portal,
Right.
including profiles, Tankopedia, Hall of Fame. Hall of
Yeah.
Fame.
Yeah.
You'll be able to
That
apply
thing.
vehicle role filters in all three of these places. Why are you not going to include that in the UI?
Because it's still beta.
Why can I the bottom left where you do the sort function? You're gonna take the time to put it in player profiles, Tankopedia, and the Hall of Fame. We'll get to the Hall of Fame in a minute. It's a shit show. You will be able to apply vehicle role. That's great. That's great. How about you put it in the UI in the bottom left where you can filter everything?
Wouldn't that be fun?
How about you do that? One last small change worth mentioning is the additional field modification selection in the in-game player's guide. All right, that's just guide stuff. So I think that covers everything that I wanted to. Oh, there was a couple little details in here. The gun reload timer will now display hundredths of a second, which I know a lot of mods have had for a long time.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I
That
don't know
is
if it
cool.
really does anything, but that's a little addition in there. The other stuff is this one piqued my interest. In the southeastern corner of the Manheim line, terrain irregularities that caused vehicles to slide in the water were smoothed out. Parts of the slope where vehicles will lose traction with the surface are highlighted with a texture.
Really? What does that mean?
Well, I assume it means what it says, but your question is still
No.
valid.
Well,
I don't know
yeah.
what it means.
Yeah. But, if so, if you see a certain texture, it's not good to drive on. I don't know. I don't get it.
So let me get this here. The part we're talking about. Let me bring this map up here. See if we can get a good one. That'll be fine. That'll work. Let's get larger. That's what she said. All right. Here it is. This map, Mannheim line, right? Southeast down here, and I'm assuming, and they said water. So there are folds in the ground that tanks like to hide in and go hold down here and punish people who are coming from the north spawn, from the northeast spawn.
Yeah.
And it said southeast, so I'm assuming it's this whole section.
Oh, okay.
But this is the part where
I know what.
This is the part where people slide into the water a lot.
That's the one. You if you're careful, you can actually, even if you go in the water, you can pull yourself back out again. But you can get across that piece there.
But there are some places where you slide down into the depths and you just can't get out. So, but it's not like that problem is unique to that map.
No, that's the
or
same
completely unique to that map. There are other maps and places where that same thing happens, and so they've made this kind of interesting little tidbit in here, and it's going to be highlighted with a texture. So we'll have to see what's going on with that. I hate that spot, by the way. People hiding out on that back edge and being holed down right there. It's just terrible.
It's a proper pixel sniping spot, isn't it? You know, if you try and get around the corner, if you're north spawn and you come down, try and get around that corner, you're immediately mullered all the time, and you can't do anything about it.
People with a lot of gun depression are sitting there. Now, if there's arty, they get punished, but there's less arty now.
Yeah.
So those spots can be very difficult to deal with, near impossible, and you can't push. There's no way to push around that corner and up into there.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you've also got to think, if they're going to put a texture on there, is that a texture that is the traverse texture, or is it the texture that will make it slip, so you can actually negotiate through that texture or around the texture, or what does that mean?
Right.
Just have to try it. Well, I have to go into the training room and just try and drive across and see when I slide into the water and when I don't.
Yeah.
It's the only thing to do, isn't it?
Well, Stickler makes a good point there about hold down spots and working on the maps, making iterative improvements. It's a bigger problem than just the spot, though, because the powerful tanks are the tanks with a turret.
Yeah.
With a strong turret, a lot of times. Those spots are all over. It's a basic design element of the maps and the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get people that find these little folds and they get in these kind of killing zones and they just sit there. And so, yes, there's a slight argument that artillery kind of took care of that, but it took care of it too well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the exact answer to that is. I guess you could nerf the spots a bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cliffy said he was using that particular. Oh, was it? Yeah. The thing is, that's part of the game. I enjoy that part of the game, but not if it's. I mean, on that particular corner, that it just becomes a slugfest, and you just take unnecessary damage. It becomes very difficult to deal with that. But I do enjoy, where there's hold down spots. There's fun in that. I mean, that's part of the game, so let's not take it out. How do you redefine it? I don't know. Make it slightly less hold down, so there is an opportunity to take the weak spots, or an opportunity to take the hole or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to just flatten it out so everything's flat ground.
No, you don't want a NASCAR racetrack, do you?
But I was thinking about that map the other day. It's a mess. That map is terrible. Especially the northeast spawn has no hope.
Yeah.
That's not true. The other spawn can't get down to fight them, and the northeast spawn can't come up out of the ramp and fight anybody.
Yeah.
So it's this weird, it's a weird stalemate down there now. It used to be a great brawl. You could both sides could kind of get to the corner and fight.
Yeah.
But now you can't. It's just painful.
Well, you notice the meta on that has particularly changed. If you're the north spawn, a lot of players now are sitting at the top of the ridge waiting for the other team to actually push all the way around. So I've come across that a lot now. The meta, instead of coming down and brawling, they're hanging out at the top. And anybody trying to push up that ramp immediately
Right.
gets it.
Well,
You know.
Cliffy says he fired up the test and he has no idea what they're. So I don't know. We'll have to see if it's even a thing. I don't know. It
Okay.
would not be the first time they put something in notes that didn't mean anything.
Right. Cool.
The repair. Let's see. The suspension repair speed parameter was added to the list of technical characteristics. That's interesting.
Hmm.
So you'll know the repair speed, the base repair speed of the tracks on a tank.
Okay.
There you go. There's some.
Didn't they already have that? If you were tracked, didn't they have that in the left hand menu
It does, but I'm
where it
talking
showed you
about like
modules?
in Garage when you look at the characteristics of the tank. I'm assuming that's going to be a characteristic
Oh,
that's
okay.
listed
Right.
somewhere
Okay.
from what I'm seeing there.
Yeah.
Alternate baluster switched off. Okay, we knew that. Function change now. The functionality of changing the ammo type on the battle loading screen has been added. Now, you guys were talking. You can already decide which shell is first in the loading screen. I just press the number and I see the little thing move.
Yeah.
That works now, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Did you just, like they said in chat, you just double click on the ammunition you want to load in first?
Yeah,
And
there's a
it,
green box, and you can
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
switch it every time as many
yeah,
times as you want, and then when it goes to zero, when the countdown
yeah,
shows up, it
yeah. That's always been in the game,
no, that
so
green
I don't
box is
know.
there now, Cliffy. It's there now. I do that all the time.
Yeah,
I change to whatever shell I want at the beginning. I see the little green box. It's there now. So I don't know
and
what.
I've done it constantly. If I'm bottom tier, invariably I'll just click on number two and load the
The
APCR on it or
box
the
was on the
premium ammo.
number, not the shell. Okay, maybe the box is on the shell. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see,
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it, I think, for
1.14. Yeah,
1.14.01.
one. Yeah.
All right. So we got that. I think that's pretty. Are we about done there? Let's see. I've lost the plot. There we go. Talked about the hack. Talked about the weekly watcher. Oh, the Hall of Shame.
Oh yes, we forgot that one, didn't we?
The Hall of Shame. So this has been out. Yeah, Frontline is starting on October 18th. That is correct, Wayne. We talked. When did this come out? The Hall of Shame. It came out in. God, it's been
Oh, years ago,
8 years by now, I
6 or 8 years ago, I'm sure.
Actually, we can probably
Um,
figure it out by going here because you could only go back so far. Let's see, it goes back to 2014. So it may have been 2014, 6 or 7 years ago.
yeah.
We were talking about this earlier. The Czech heavies, are they is that the latest one? The Czech heavies?
Check heavies, yeah.
The Czech heavies and the Italian heavies, I believe, both
Yeah.
heavy, are still not in the Hall of Fame. Look at that. Italian heavies, how long have they been out? Over a year, I think.
Yeah. And the G-Saw we also checked.
We checked the G-Sor was last year. G-Sor, premium tank put in last year, is still not in the Hall of Fame. It's been carrying a beta tag up here.
Ah, forever.
It's been doing beta testing for 7 years. Probably one of the coolest things with the most capability for them to customize and make interesting for players, and it's been languishing for 7 years. That just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. I was number 7 in the Sumo last month.
Nice.
Bragging.
Yeah.
Although I think no, that's October. There we go. Yep. So top 10 in the Suma. See, there's my Lance and C. I actually did pretty well. 5,300 would have put me at top 10.
Okay.
Just the win rate sucked, and I didn't have enough battles. I have to play another Ooh, I'd have to play another 19, so that may not stay at 5,300 after another 19 battles. But for the battles I had in it, that was cool.
Right?
But that just drives me crazy, man. I like the Hall of Fame. I think you can do a lot of stuff with it. You could
Well,
have.
I think it's great for understanding how you're doing, not only with the tanks but your own play style and everything else. It really does fit with all that. A lot more than just win rate and all that
I mean,
nonsense.
what if you
It
just took the
gives you
top 10 and each month the top 10 guys got kits or
yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
know,
cool.
number one guy got 250 gold,
Yeah,
something like that. You know what I mean? Wouldn't even have to be gold. Just something kind of cool, premium days or bonds or I don't know, whatever. And
yeah,
then that's every tank in the game,
yeah.
which opens up every tank in the game to be something people might play.
Absolutely. Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Yeah,
And then you got bragging rights. I was number one for, the month, number one for the quarter, the half, the year, whatever.
yeah,
Whatever you want. I mean, the possibilities of using this are endless for the company, and it's just languished. They've
yeah,
completely. Like,
yeah.
how do you even have this in your game? And you haven't even put frickin' tanks in from a year ago.
No. It's not applicable. It's not, it's not current. It's not doing the job it's supposed to do. It's not fit for purpose in any way, shape, or form, is it? So,
It's insane, man. I
yeah.
can't. I just can't even. I can't even. I can't even.
Chapter clouds.
But yeah, it's not like it's a surprise necessarily, but that one's gone on for a while.
Yeah.
And there was a while, I think about a year ago, some of the CCs were talking about it, and we did kind of poke them a little bit, and they added a couple tanks that we knew that weren't there.
Right. Okay.
But you would think that there would be somebody's job would be to, when a new tank came out, get it put into
You
the
would
Hall of
think.
Fame. Like, how
Yeah.
is that not on the checklist of releases?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
And if it's going to be,
Don't forget to get that in the Hall of Fame.
if it's going to be Left 4 Dead, get rid of it.
Well, or is it that the person's told put it in the Hall of Fame and the person's gone, "What's the Hall of Fame?" No idea what that is. Because
All the interns are working on the moon base. Absolutely. Now
yeah.
here's a question, actually. If I look at, well, the tank's not there because I've played some of those tanks, so they're just not even listed. What if I go here? Is it actually tracking? No, that's not the right. That's today's. I need to go. Let's go. What, September? Okay, all vehicles tiers.
I mean, there's while you're doing that,
This is
there's
just for the
Banzai
day.
saying that Wargaming hasn't got the right feedback from Super Test. That's
Yeah.
funny. Grumpy Old Man says it doesn't make him any money. I mean, that's also true. There's no
Well,
monetization of that
that's. I mean, I that's valid
currently.
That's valid feedback,
Yeah.
but it does make them money in a roundabout way. It makes the game better.
Oh yeah. No,
It's low
absolutely.
hanging
It's more
fruit. It's low
informative.
hanging
Yeah.
fruit that should be pretty easy to keep updated
Yes. Yeah.
relatively.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the way it's built is extremely clumsy, and the time required to mess around with it is, might. You never know how the back end's built and what the coding is. So who knows? Maybe
Right.
it's just a total pain in the rear for them, and it's not worth the time. I don't know.
Yeah. As Cliffy says, the way you described it, Guido, you could have. I mean, far better than some of these. Clan war ideas and all this. Who's the best player? You could have all that incorporated into that UI.
Yeah.
Who was the best player in that tank this month? 500 gold. There you go, or
Right.
whatever.
Yep. Now you would have to be careful with gold and stuff because what players will do at that point is find some obscure tank
Yeah,
and play it up to number one or
yeah,
whatever, and
yeah,
but that's the point anyway, I guess, is to get people to play more tanks and play the game more.
yeah.
So if you've got another kind of goal to go at, most people would
Well,
probably just.
even Guido, even a real life event prize. For example, when they have their Wargaming Fest, the guy who has been consistently top in a given tank for the whole of the year can get an invite to a wargaming event and be presented with a medal or a
Right.
Whatever. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
awesome? You know what I mean?
I mean, I just think it has so many possibilities.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to.
I'd never get an invite, but there you go. That's not the point.
So you can go all the way back to September 20. And this is a weird one too. I guess it's a year. Yeah. Okay. So this you can go back for a year, although the data for all that exists. But you can go all the way back to September 2014. Select rating. There you go. So there's since 2014. Here's where I am in tanks that have enough battles. Top 50 here, 50, 52. The KV3, that's pretty funny. Top 500 is the next thing. 70th, 74th, 74th. The OHO, 111th. The Hawk 12. That's pretty funny. 128th in the EBR. And that's since 2014 with 150 battles plus. Now, and then it just stops, right? I can't even... I might even want to see all my tanks. I can't even see them. They're not...
No.
Then you have tier 10. I don't know why it's there. Look, these are the only tanks here. Nobody knows why. New. Okay. The new tanks are, and this has been this way for a while. That's the new tanks that they have on there. Peugeot 65 has been out for a while. Standard BEBR.
Yeah, I've got that 60 TP standard B, all that. Sutek, okay. Sleep well, mate. Thank you for being here.
All right, man. Well, that's so. There you go. I mean, I just think there's a lot of stuff. Rabble, rabble, rabble.
I know, yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right. Did you have something on a? You wanted to report the winner for that contest?
Oh, yes. From the competition last week, which was the biggie for the 1,000 gold, there is a winner. There is a winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
It is exactly that. It is a winner because he got 2 out of the 3 questions correct, and the third one was the closest answer to the actual answer. Everybody, there was a lot of people who got the first 2 right, but the third part of the answer, the third answer, was way off. So here we go. The original question was, what's the deepest lake in the United States? What's it cubic miles? And how many M12 artillery pieces could you fit into that lake? Okay. Who could drown? How many artillery pieces could drown in that, given it M12s? So the answers was Crater Lake is the deepest lake in the United States. It's in, I believe, Oregon. Am I right? It is 4.49 cubic miles. And how many M12 artillery pieces can you drown in that particular lake? Well, it was 24,784,742 M12s, which is about how many is in the game right now. So the total game's worth can drown in that lake. The guy who got the closest, because he guessed 23 million as a round figure, was AI Einstein, but he's not. I don't think he's in chat at the moment. AI, nice guy from the math guy, yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's how.
So I will sort him out, but I don't think he's actually watching today.
As a coincidence, that's how many Artie it feels like is in a game when you have 3 Artie.
Yeah.
24 million. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Absolutely.
That's the equivalent of 3 Artie in World of Tanks. Who is Amaranth? I've heard this a couple times.
We've had this before, haven't we? Yeah.
Who is that person? Got banned from TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch? Well, that's some good work.
Is she a streamer or what is she?
Hot tub streamer. Like just sat in a hot tub and streamed it? How do you get banned for that? Was there some other shenanigans going on?
You have to put your fingers over this certain area, don't you?
I don't know. Oh, OG. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. That's only the second time in my life I've heard the name.
No, I've never heard. Well, yeah, I heard it mooted on. I think it was your stream the other day, but that was it.
Oh, bikini streamer in a hot tub. Okay.
Is this where we're going? Tank tops and bikinis.
It's weird. She got. I mean, you're saying she got. Oh, they're out of hand.
Okay.
But seriously, what was the? There had to have been an incident, or did they just say we don't want that anymore? How do you get banned from all 3 of those? Did she say something that got her canceled?
Selling bathwater.
She was selling the water?
Maybe we need a hot tub and tank tops, and then we can perhaps monetize this.
Pushing the envelope, yeah. Well, she pushed it too far, I guess. Belle Delphine was the bathwater selling,
Okay, there's more people out there doing stuff.
which indicates there's apparently a market for that.
Exactly. See, we're missing a trick here, Guido. We could sell used coffee water. I don't know. Make your coffee for coffee talk out of this hot tub. Oh.
Now, see, now Randall's getting to something I would believe, linking to OnlyFans stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I have like some dregs of my coffee. I could sell like the last sip of my coffee.
Yeah. I've got
You know what?
some Royal Blend. Look, I've got a little bit left here. Look at the state of that cup.
Nope, ain't happening. I'm drinking it.
Oh, you know.
Sorry,
I'll drink my second cup.
not selling it. Oh, Cliffy,
It's gone.
that's so weird, man. That's so
See,
weird.
Cliffy's hit the nail on the head. Look, Insult Gamers is larger demo than the old game.
I didn't want to get
Gamers.
into it. It's so weird.
No. We're not doing tank tops. Not in a million years. It's bad enough wearing this.
We are on the edge of being banned because of your shirt.
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially with collar stiffness.
I would say that collar is way too.
Too formal.
Yeah, no. What's the
Oh,
too starched? That is way too starched.
way too. It's got collar
is it?
stiffness in there.
Oh, good lord! Now you've gone over the top, sir.
I can't get it back to front. Look, I don't know how to put it. I'll leave it.
You've taken it too far,
Too far. Next it'll be a bow tie.
dude.
I know somebody's already done that.
If I sold my keyboard, you'd have to fumigate it because there's coffee, crumbs, gunk. It's so nasty.
Yeah,
But I will be buying a new computer.
it's a
soon.
biohazard.
Yeah,
You've got a
I will
biohazard
be-
keyboard.
I will be buying a new computer pretty soon.
See,
Well,
you're
all right.
saying that now. Hey, check this out, buddy. Check this out.
What?
You know, like when you speak to the House General, and everybody on Twitch will know that, is that you have to sort of couch things when it comes to financial expenditure. You have to couch it in just like a general conversation.
In favorable terms.
In favourable terms, having the House General has at some point had a good day, whatever it is. So
The mood has to be right. The mood does have to be right. Yeah, as with most things.
That worked. Yeah, I have to whisper in case she's listening.
Uh-oh.
That worked yesterday because we had the grandkids round yesterday. She was on a big high because she had a lovely day, painting, baking, decorating, all that sort of good stuff. I just hid in the background, of course. Granddad doesn't do baking. Okay, so anyway, so at the end of the day, we sat around having dinner. The kids had gone and everybody had left. It was all peaceful. And I was saying, because she's got the Mac. See, she uses the Mac. Says, how's the Mac doing? Now, it's only got 8 mega RAM in, so it's really like pants. But anyway, I said, so how's the Apple doing? You all right with that? She goes, it's very slow. It's on the Wi-Fi. And,
Ooh.
and I went, right. I said, oh, yeah. I said, my rig's quite speedy. It's quite good. It's got lots of goodies. I said, why don't you have my rig? She goes, well, what are you going to do? I said, well, I can always get another one. Yeah. And she goes, that's a good idea. In there.
Yeah, but yours isn't a laptop though, is it?
No, it's a PC. It's a
It's hers a desktop too.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's got the iMac. So and
Ah.
that'll be retired because good old Apple. This was the iMac version that they sealed, so you can't put more. Excuse me,
Oh, you can't upgrade it.
more
yeah.
RAM in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So way
Well,
to
there
do
you
it,
go.
mate.
There you
So
go.
when you get your new rig next year,
He
I
probably
might
meant
be
8
joining you.
gig, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Not 8 meg.
Yeah. No, 8 gig. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, 8 meg would be from
8 meg.
1987. Maybe even earlier.
Yeah, it's the Commodore 64,
That's
looking
right.
like an apple.
16 kilobytes.
Yeah,
All right,
just
man.
won't follow if I keep on wearing this shirt.
So I should be streaming tomorrow. That's the expectation, and probably for Stack Up in the afternoon. Maybe the rest of the week. I don't know. Maybe tonight. So there's a lot of maybes. Standard act. 200th anniversary on the 24th. 200th anniversary, 200th episode.
Okay, yeah,
We've
we'll go with
been
that.
we've been doing this for 200 years.
Yeah, feels like it, doesn't it?
I know, Cliffy. I remember those declarations, especially early on when computers are coming out. You'll never need more.
Yeah,
So much memory, you'll never use it. You know, I think we've kind
yeah,
of stopped saying that as we've realized that the memory requirements and the storage requirements are only going to keep going up as we get more and more information and capability out there. But that used to be a standard refrain for many years about
yeah,
how it's got so much memory and capability you'll never use it. Well, guess what? We used it
yeah.
and then some. We used it and then some. So
Oh.
that's pretty much it from me. Then, any last parting shots there, Pilgrim?
No, I think we're done. There won't be a competition, as I say, for next week,
Okay.
or for this week and next week, because we're doing the anniversary thing.
Thanks for the follows, 36 Revan, KHI 503. I don't know what the rest of that is. Nats, CZ Gamel, Brandestel with the braid, Mithrism, Reop 3A, and I think that's it for today. I appreciate everybody coming by. You guys have a great Sunday out there. Stay safe, and we'll see you Monday morning. That's it from the left side of the Atlantic.
And that's it from the correct side of the Atlantic.
See you guys.